Hello class, this is Panos. Today we're gonna go through how you can write your own Javadoc comments. We've already seen some examples in class, and how we can create the Javadoc documentation, which is done automatically. You don't really have to do anything. As long as you write the comments properly, everything will appear on its own. So this is something that you'll need to do for assignment 2, which is due this Friday. Remember that. Okay, so let's start. I have here the student class, which we had used in the last video. So in order to use our comments, our Javadoc comments, we start and we put a second star. So we start right before the class and we say what this class is about. And for this one, we're saying that we're representing a student record in the system. And we close the comments in the usual way, but before doing that, we're going to add a special tag and we're going to add the author of this class. So we say @author, and over there I place my name. Then we go and we start adding comments for all the different fields that this student has. So again, in the same way, we need 2 stars, and we start with the first one. It's a unique identification number. As you remember, this is a unique number that shows which student is who. And then we continue with the next field. This one concerns the name. Again, /**, and then we'll just say that the name of the student. And this is basically what this field is storing. I like to make it a little bit better. This is why I'm changing the line here. And I put a few spaces in between. But as long as you follow the /**, everything it will work. And we need another comment for the year, and again a similar way, /**, and then the year of the student or of studies the student is enrolled in. We can also say that. So remember, at this point you shouldn't just repeat yourself, so you shouldn't just write year or name. You need to be a little bit more explicit on what these things are. And the variable is already there, the field. So now we're going to the constructor. So this is a special method. Remember, it has the same name as the class. So this constructs a new student and new student record. And the special thing here is that we're passing 2 of the 3 parameters. So we're gonna say this explicitly. So we're using the ID and the name, which are passed, but for the year we're initializing directly to 1 because these were the specs for making this class. It had its own way. And for each of these parameters that we're passing to the constructor, we need to use this special tag, the parameter tag, and we're explaining them. So we say param ID in, and this is the ID of the new student. And I think I've forgotten the @ sign there. I should go and correct it. Yep. So @param and then name in, which is the next parameter that we're passing to the constructor, and this is the name of the new student. Okay, now we can close this Javadoc comment and we can move on to the next. So now we have a few accessor functions, these getter functions, methods, as you remember. They're simply returning whatever is stored inside this object. So this simply is an accessor method for ID. And we also need now to, it has no parameters. You can see it's empty, so we do not really say anything for the parameters, but it has something which is returned. So now we need to use another special tag, which is the @return, and there we're explaining what exactly we're returning. And we're returning the ID of the student. That's not a new student. That student has already been there. And now we can pretty much copy this comment and paste it for the name because it's quite similar. So it's just an accessor method for name and return the name. of the student. So we correct this to name. And then we have a third accessor method, and this concerns getting the year. So this is accessor method for the year. So we type year, and then it returns the year of the student. Finally, we have one more method here. This is the one which is used to promote the student to the next year. So it's doing that year plus plus, which is the same as year plus equals 1, which is again the same as year equals year plus 1. So this method is used to promote the student to the next year. And this is something that we need to increase by 1. So we're also explaining a little bit here what exactly this method is supposed to be doing. Ideally, you should be able to recreate the whole class just by having these comments. So now we're going to switch to our terminal. We're already in the correct folder. You can see the student.java is already there. So we can use this command cat student.java, and we can pipe this to less and see all the things that we've written there. You can see that it's there. All the Javadoc comments are there. We hit Q and exit from that. And now we can use Javadoc. So let's try Java on its own first. It's an error, of course, but it shows us all the different options that we have. So we're interested in using -private. This shows all classes and members. And we also want to use -author, which includes the -author tag. So now we type Javadoc, and then we type the first option, -author, then the second, -private, then the class that we want to turn into, to produce its documentation, and then -d is the output directory. So let's call this Javadoc. So now you should see that a new folder is there, if it wasn't there already, and it's filled up with a bunch of stuff that have been automatically created by the Javadoc application. So now let's see what happens. All of these are HTML files, therefore you should be able to view them with a browser like Firefox or Chrome or whatever else is your favorite. So we browse through and we try to find the Javadoc files, and one we're interested into is student.html. It has the same name as the name of the class, followed by .html. And now here you can see all the different things that have been created. So again, you can see the author as we've said it. You were able to see the description of the class, the description of the fields, the description of the constructor, all the things that we wrote, basically the same things, the descriptions of all the methods that we have, and then this is repeated again in a much more precise and concise way, but it's basically all the stuff that is there. So using this information, using this documentation, you should be able to recreate a class, because remember, whatever you're doing now, it's not something that you'll be remembering in the future. So try all these for your next assignment, and I'll see you in class.